YouTube fan community, Beatles fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we're here today to talk about the Yellow Submarine Songtrack released in 1999. This specific copy happens to be a UK original sealed vinyl record. I'm assuming on yellow vinyl, but I'll never know because I'll never open it. I have this on CD, and that's good enough for me. I want to keep this thing sealed, so here's how it looks. Very cool to find this thing. Yeah, this was quite the surprise to come across, but this album came out September 13th, 1999 to coincide with the 30th anniversary of the movie and being re-released on VHS and DVD for the first time. It had been out of print for years at this point, but it's a very unique mix, and for anyone who's ever picked this up before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This thing was done by Peter Cobbin at Abbey Road, and it sounds unlike anything before or since in terms of Beatles releases, because he had completely a unique experience where he had access to all the original multi-track recordings, and so he was able to make completely unique mixes for all these songs. So these things sound nothing like anything you've heard before, nothing by George Martin or Giles Martin. It's really, truly an amazing listen, and some of the most rewarding listens you'll ever listen to from the Beatles. The bass is great, the mid-range is punchy, the top end's smooth and crisp. I mean, they really nailed it with this mix. The only thing different about this is that A Day in the Life is not on here. So they captured all the songs from the movie except for A Day in the Life. So the original album was, you know, some of the newer tracks, and side 2 was the George Martin score. This thing completely gets rid of the George Martin score, replacing it with album songs, or movie songs. But it did well for itself upon release, number 8 in the UK, number 15 in the US, which for a reissue is pretty amazing. Well, I guess it was technically a new album, but you know, what's really interesting about this release too is that it was done by someone not named Martin. It wasn't George Martin, it wasn't Giles Martin, and that's pretty much the only time that's ever happened with the Beatles, bar for Phil Spector, but who cares? One thing of note that I'll mention about this record is that I would love to see it reissued where you get everything on this album, including A Day in the Life, but also adding on the original mono mix of It's All Too Much, which has those extra verses that only exist in the movie. They've never been reissued anywhere else. That would be a nice addition to like a 2 CD deluxe set version of this album, along with the second CD of all George Martin stuff. I think collecting everything in one place would be a smart move. And I'd also include the original mono mixes done for Hey Bulldog, Only Northern Song, I'm looking at the back here, It's All Too Much. Everything that was new at the time. They originally intended to put out an EP in early '69 because they were like, well, we kind of feel like we're ripping off our fans here. They're getting half a Beatles album. So they thought, let's put out a mono EP, and, or it doesn't have to be mono, but let's put out an EP with just those tracks. And it didn't happen, unfortunately. But they did come out on the Past Masters albums a few years ago, the mono mixes. So it'd be great to have that and the original longer mix of It's All Too Much and A Day in the Life and George Martin stuff all in one set. I think that'd be a really cool listen. So, you know, this isn't necessarily going to be a track-by-track review because we've heard these songs before, but overall, I just wanted to chat about this thing for a little bit. It's just a really special album. Plus, the album cover is absolutely wonderful. I mean, just the emphasis on the Yellow Submarine, the bright yellow text, the funky font. I mean, they nailed it with the artwork here. At the time of this video coming out, I'm sure by now and Then has already come out with the album cover that almost nobody has any interest in. So to look back on something like this and be like, oh, they nailed it. And to see Now and Then and be kind of like, incredible song, but artwork, come on. Anyways, I want to chat about this in the comments below with you guys. Let me know your thoughts on the movie soundtrack here. 10 out of 10 for me. It sounds rich and warm and detailed and alive. It's a very unique mix in their discography. So that's it. My name is Giggens. Let's chat about the Beatles' Yellow Submarine Songtrack. You know, when I do the actual album, I'll do track by track. But for right now, let's just talk about the overall piece that it is. So that's it. My name is Giggens. I'll see you guys in the comments below and in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.